Welcome back, 800-282-2882. Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus has been quietly having conversations with state party leaders to discuss the latest push by convention delegates to nominate anybody other than Donald Trump. Priebus has spoken with Republican Party chairmen in many states in recent days, in part to get a better sense of how large the anti-Trump faction is among their convention delegates. There's even a move on to change the rules at the convention to allow delegates to vote their conscience on the first ballot. Have you heard that one? It's out there. They're hiring staff and lawyers, and this drumbeat that Trump, some of the stuff that I'm hearing, you probably have heard it too. It's really getting deep. Some of this stuff, it's really getting conspiratorial too. So have you heard this one? That Trump is already thinking about quitting because the last thing he wants to do is lose. He does not. He can't abide lose. Trump's a winner. Win, 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 win. And so there are people telling other people that Trump is already planning an exit strategy based on the fact of this. Priebus meeting with people trying to come up with a mechanism by which they could steal the nomination from Trump. Trump supposedly very mad about it and said, you know what? The heck with you guys. You're rigging the game against me. I quit. Rather than plod on and lose. Others think that he might not do this until October to really put the party in a bind. Then there are others who say, you know what? Trump's figured out he doesn't want to do it now. That's why you're not seeing. I actually had somebody explain this to me over the weekend. When the conversation came up about Hillary running, and she's got $1 million ad campaign out there. You may not be seeing it because it's in swing states. See, in the primaries, Trump could triumph with free media, just being on every show that would have him multiple times a day, and therefore not have to buy any media time. But once you get to the general election, it's not about that. It's about states. It's about swing states. It's about winning states to amass electoral votes. And the theory is you can't do that with free media. You can't do it by blanketing free media with interviews and guest appearances. No matter how often you do it, you have to target in swing states. And Trump isn't doing that. And the theory is that Trump's organization is not nearly set up to do it. They're not in any way ready to go with it. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that's, and a lot of this, don't forget, is designed. A lot of it's not true, folks. A lot of it is designed to once again create impressions and to dispirit the Republican voter base, the Trump voter base. It's part and parcel of the Democrat media game plan. It happens every 4 years. Like I say, this is what they did to Romney back in 2012, and they timed it to where Romney couldn't spend any of the money he had to counter any of the charges that were being made by Obama in TV ads. And the same observation is occurring now. Here, let me find a soundbite. There was a meeting. It's going to take me a while here. I'm looking. It's number 7. Grab audio soundbite number 7. This Sunday morning, CNN's State of the Union, during the all-star panel, Dana Bash was hosting, speaking with Republican strategist Ana Navarro about Trump and the Republican Party. Dana Bash said, let's go back to what you said, Anna, about being at the Romney Retreat, which happens every year in Utah. And there was. That's the point. There was a Romney Retreat where Republican establishment types go to try to figure out how to basically stay in charge of things. And they did it again recently. She was there, apparently. And so Dana Bash says, Romney brings a whole bunch of donors and others in. Was there any talk, Anna, of an alternative to Trump? Was there any talk maybe Mitt Romney wanting to jump in again?
If we try to have a coup in Cleveland, we're going to get slaughtered in Cleveland. Do we get slaughtered in Cleveland in July, or do we get slaughtered in November across the nation? What I did sense out of the Romney Retreat is that there's a willingness to come together, for there to be a Republican reconstruction. And I think Mitt Romney is going to be one of those leaders, as is Paul Ryan. Whether it's in November, whether it's in 4 years or 8 years, there is going to be a post-Trump reconstruction and coming together of the Republican Party.
So the consensus, hear this now, the consensus at the Romney Retreat is there is no way to take the nomination from Trump. Anybody trying that is going to get blown out, but it doesn't matter. Because we're going to get slaughtered. We're going to get slaughtered in November with Trump. And if there's a coup to oust Trump, whoever replaces Trump becomes a nominee is also going to get slaughtered. So the Republican establishment brains think that no matter what, we get slaughtered this November. And that's where their mindset is. And that mindset has been there for months. It's not really new. I wonder how long it's actually been there. I think this is also one of the enduring problems with the Republican Party. It manifests as lack of confidence. They don't think they're going to win. For whatever reasons, they just don't think it. If you don't think you're going to win, you're not going to win. You can make bank on that. And if they've got this pessimistic attitude about it, I think they had that pessimistic attitude even before the primaries began. But certainly it settled in with Trump and the way he stormed through the primary season and just dominated everything. They still were of the belief that Trump was going to lose in a landslide like you can't believe. Here's George Will, Fox News Sunday. Chris Wallace says, can Trump win without the RNC? Because it's beginning to look like the RNC and this stuff, the efforts there are to undermine Trump. Can he win without them, George? The infrastructure, field organization, money, database, all that the RNC has built. Can Trump win without that?
Trump got 13 million votes in the primaries. He'll probably need 65 million votes to win the presidency. Where's he going to get the other 52 million? That's a lot of votes. Donald Trump's assumption clearly at this point is that running in a primary against 16 opponents is pretty much the same as running in a protracted general election against one well-funded, tough Democratic machine. If he doesn't have a get-out-the-vote mechanism, what does he have? What he has is crowds. And like a real amateur in politics, he seems to confuse the enthusiasm of the crowds in front of him at the moment in a high school auditorium with the larger electorate.
Isn't that interesting? A lot of people do. A lot of people look at a Trump rally and think, man, there's something happening here. It's big. It's all over the place. And Mr. Will's point is, it doesn't mean anything. A big crowd doesn't have a thing to do with the way people are going to vote. You remember the last 10 days of the Romney campaign in 2000? Remember those huge crowds and how everybody, something's happening. Romney even thought so. Something's happening. In 2000, what was it? No, it was 1996. Bob Dole called this program at some point in the last 10 days of Camp Russia. Something's happening out here. You can feel it. And, of course, near landslide defeats were the what's happening out there now. I got to take a break, folks. Be back. Don't go away.